Mystery over Mojtaba's true location deepens as Putin's envoy makes a major revelation, insisting the Iranian supreme leader is still inside Iran and out of sight, even as rumors swirl about secret treatment abroad. Amid rampant speculation that Mojtaba may have been moved to Russia for medical care and protection, a top Putin aide has stunned Trump's camp by publicly signaling Moscow's quiet backing for Iran's embattled leader. In a new shock for Trump, reports suggest Putin is preparing Russian forces to help shield Iran from any potential US ground invasion, raising the stakes of direct confrontation between the great powers. Trump has tried to mock and belittle Mojtaba in public remarks, but Putin's overt political embrace and hints of military support have delivered a harsh reality check to Washington about the limits of US leverage in this war.
Is Khamenei's son still alive, sir? Is he a part of these conversations?
We think he may be. Nobody's heard about him. He may be alive, but he's obviously very seriously in trouble. He's seriously wounded.
Even as the war passes the one-month mark, Iran's new supreme leader Mojtaba Khamenei has still not appeared in public, fueling intense speculation about his condition and grip on power. Amid mounting questions over Mojtaba's health and whereabouts, Russia has stepped in with a major claim that directly addresses the rumors swirling around Tehran and Moscow. President Vladimir Putin's envoy to Iran publicly moved to clear the air, responding to chatter that Mojtaba had secretly flown to Russia for treatment and protection. Earlier media reports had suggested Mojtaba was taken to Moscow after suffering serious injuries, allegedly at Putin's personal invitation, for advanced medical care. Mojtaba was reportedly wounded in the joint US-Israeli strikes on February 28 that killed his father, Ali Khamenei, during the opening salvos of the war. The Russian envoy has now clarified that Mojtaba remains in Iran, not Moscow, according to reports published on March 31 that sought to dispel the relocation rumors. He told local media it was understandable that Mojtaba has not been seen in public, hinting at both security concerns and possible injury-related limitations. Mojtaba formally replaced his father Ali Khamenei as Iran's supreme leader on March 8, but has so far issued only written or relayed messages rather than appearing on camera. Meanwhile, the US president has publicly floated the possibility that Mojtaba Khamenei may have been killed or is close to death in the war, even as intelligence and Russian statements say he is still alive.
I think we'll make a deal with them, pretty sure. Whether it's possible, we won't. But we've had regime change, if you look already, because the one regime was decimated, destroyed, they're all dead. The next regime is mostly dead. And the third regime, we're dealing with different people than anybody's dealt with before. It's a whole different group of people. So I would consider that regime change. And frankly, they've been very reasonable. So I think we've had regime change. We can't do much better than that. The regime that was really bad, really evil was the first one. That was done. The second was appointed, and they're gone. They're all dead, other than one who may have a little life. And then they're really in the third group. And the third group of people that seem to be much more reasonable. It truly is regime change.
Tehran has firmly rejected Donald Trump's suggestion that Mojtaba Khamenei may be dead, dismissing his comments as speculation and part of a broader psychological warfare campaign. Meanwhile, intelligence agencies including the CIA and Israel's Mossad are still actively trying to track Mojtaba, poring over every signal and message for clues about whether he is alive, wounded, or fully in control in Tehran. Russia's Chechen military units have reportedly announced that they are ready to deploy to Iran, signaling possible outside involvement if the war enters a new and more dangerous phase. The reported deployment would be aimed at supporting the Iranian armed forces in the event of a US ground invasion, according to the claims carried in the latest reports. Iran's Press TV made the revelation on March 31st, saying Chechen military units loyal to Ramzan Kadyrov had declared their readiness for such a move. According to Press TV, Ramzan Kadyrov's forces are describing the ongoing conflict in Iran as a religious war, giving the possible intervention a highly ideological framing. The same report said the Russian units referred to their possible direct intervention as a jihad, which they framed as a battle of good versus evil in defense of Iran. Meanwhile, the United States is actively deploying more troops in the region as speculation grows over possible ground operation against Iran. Donald Trump has announced a pause on strikes targeting Iran's energy sites while peace efforts continue in parallel, trying to keep diplomatic pressure alive alongside military escalation. Even so, Iran appeared to reject the peace proposal, calling it excessive, unrealistic, and illogical, in a sign that Tehran remains unconvinced by Washington's offer. On March 31st, Trump said the United States could end its Middle East war within the next 2 to 3 weeks, suggesting that ongoing operations might wrap up very soon even without a formal peace deal.
We hit them hard. We got rid of a lot of the radicalized lunatics along the strait. But if they want something, but I would say that within 2 weeks, maybe 3, we're hitting them very hard. Last night we knocked out tremendous amounts of missile-making facilities. No, they don't. You asked me a question. No, they don't have to make a deal with me. When we feel that they are, for a long period of time, put into the Stone Ages, and they won't be able to come up with a nuclear weapon, then we'll leave. Whether we have a deal or not, it's irrelevant. Now, it's possible that we'll have a deal because they want to make a deal. They want to make a deal more than I want to make a deal.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest newsmakers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the U.S. will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry ghats.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HD videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.